In this video, we are going to learn the electrical property of colloids. Under this topic, we are going to learn the Helmholtz double layer, electrophoresis and electroosmosis. Afterward, coagulation of colloid. What is coagulation means? We know the stability of colloid, we know very well. Because of some electrolyte, that colloids get into settle, that is precipitate. That is called as coagulation process. Then next one, protective action. Then that protective action is based on the stabilization of lyophobic salt. Lyophobic salt, they are not very stable. Small addition of electrolyte, they get into precipitate. So we have to protect that lyophobic salt with the help of lyophilic salt. That information we are going to learn under the topic protective action. The next one, emulsion. Emulsion means that is a liquid in liquid colloids. That emulsion, what are the types in that one, and what are the techniques we are to identify that emulsion. The next one, de-emulsion. What is de-emulsion means? Removal. De means removal. How to remove that emulsification. Then next one, application of colloids. So these are the topics we are going to cover in this video course. Rest of the lesson PPT.
Electrical property of colloidal particle. See the diagram. In that diagram, the center green color, it indicates that the negatively charged colloidal particle, it selectively absorbs the positive charged particle from the dispersion medium. So the negatively charged particle at boundary, it form one layer. The same way, the positively charged particle, which one is attracted by the negatively charged particle, it also form one another layer. So there are two layers. That two layer is formed at the boundary of the charged particle. So that one is called as Helmholtz electrical double layer. So each colloidal particle absorbs the another type of ion. Negative means it absorbs the positive. Positive colloidal particle means it absorbs the negative particle from the dispersion medium. So it preferentially absorbs the oppositely charged ions from the medium. So that boundary is separated by two electrical double layer. That double layer is called as Helmholtz electrical double layer. And then in surface, it having the positive charges in this diagram. Then dispersion medium also having positive charges, so that they are having similar charges. So similar charges never attract her. They never come to closer, so that they never condense. This also helps to explain the stability of colloid. The colloid is never get into precipitate because of the negatively charged particle means it absorbs the positive one from the dispersion medium, and that positive particle also, remaining positive particle also in the dispersion medium, never attracted by the layer of the positive layer. That layer is called a Stern layer here. Suppose we are having colloidal particle in a positive one, means it surrounded by the negative particle from the dispersion medium. So negative particle at the surface, and also remaining negative particle from the dispersion medium, they are not attracted each other, so that the positive charged particle also having the stability by Helmholtz double layer. Electrophoresis. Definition we will see later ma. First see the diagram. In that diagram, the blue color in the U tube is dispersion medium. Which one is having more concentration? That is called as, more proportion is called as dispersion medium, and less proportion, that red color, the red particle, that is called as less proportion. So that is dispersed phase or salt particle. And then the first diagram, there is a level of the dispersion medium is same, but after the electricity, the salt particle, some of the salt particle move to positive. Why they move to positive? Not the dispersion medium. The dispersion medium level, that is blue color level, is same, but the red color alone, there is not same. When compared to the first diagram, the red color particle are moving to the positive one. Why they move to positive? Because the salt particle, they are having negative property. So the negative is attracted by the positive one. So from that one we can conclude that what is electrophoresis means. Under the electrical field, the migration of salt particle, migration means moving toward the moving of salt particles towards the that positive end or negative end is called as electrophoresis or catabhoresis. Suppose the salt particle that having the positive character means they will move to negative end during the electricity. While passing the electricity, the salt particle having the positive charges means they move towards the negative end. So from that electrophoresis we can determine what charges the salt particle possesses. Suppose it possesses negative means it moves to positive end. Suppose the salt particle possesses positive means they move towards the negative end. So electrophoresis means the moving of salt particle during the electricity is called as electrophoresis or catabhoresis. From this electrophoresis we can find out what charges the salt particle possesses. Here we are going to see some example of the salt particles, what charges they are possessed by the electrophoresis. Then positive charge polyd means ferric hydroxide, aluminum hydroxide, some basic dyes, hemoglobin. Then from the electrophoresis, what are the colloids having the negatively charged means silver colloid, gold colloid, platinum colloid, arsenic sulfide colloid, clay, starch. So these are all having negatively charged colloids. Electroosmosis. Electroosmosis, the salt particle is electrically neutral. Electrically neutral means under the influence of electricity they never move towards the positive end or negative end, so that they are called as electrically neutral. The medium, the dispersion medium. In colloidal we have dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Dispersed phase is called as salt particle and dispersion medium is which one having more proportion. The dispersion medium now having that equal amount of opposite charges of the dispersed particle, that is salt particle. Now here in electroosmosis the salt particles are prevented from moving. What is prevented from moving means they never move under the electric field. And then the salt particle not moving means which one will move? The dispersion medium. Dispersion medium is large proportion of the colloidal. So that is dispersion medium will move under the influence of electric field is called as electroosmosis. What is electrophoresis means? Dispersed phase will move under the electric field. That is called as electrophoresis. But electroosmosis means dispersion medium will move under the electric field, under the influence of electric field. This movement of dispersion medium is called as electroosmosis. Coagulation. What is coagulation means? During the preparation still it has some impurities. What are the impurities means? Electrolyte only called as impurities. That electrolyte, if not it is not removed means they destabilize the colloidal solution. What is destabilize means? They precipitated the dispersed phase in the dispersion medium, so that the stability of colloid will disappear. That process is called as coagulation. So the settling down of salt particle or flocculation is called as coagulation. The coagulation process will occur by various methods. They are by addition of electrolyte, by electrophoresis, by mixing of oppositely charged salt, by boiling. From these four methods the coagulation will occur. Coagulation by addition of electrolyte. The negative ion they precipitated the positively charged salt. The same way the positive ion it causes the precipitation of negatively charged salt. So the valency of ion is high means the precipitation power is increased. For example, for cation, see that aluminum it has 3 plus, barium it has 2 plus, sodium it has plus. So among three, which one is having more valency? The aluminum is having more valency. So that the precipitation power power is increased for aluminum. The next place goes to barium. After that, sodium. The same way for anion. See that the hexacyanoferrate, what is the valency there? 3 minus. And sulfate it has 2 minus. And chlorine minus. So among these three, which one having more valency? The hexacyanoferrate has more valency. So precipitation power is increased for hexacyanoferrate. After that, the sulfate, the precipitation power is increased. Then the last place goes to chlorine minus because it has less valency. So which one having more valency? The precipitation power is high. And then the precipitation power of electrolyte, it is determined by flocculation value. The precipitation power is called as flocculation value. What is the flocculation value? Means the concentration of electrolyte that is required in a minimum value. It also causes precipitation of salt within 2 hours, means that is called as precipitation power of electrolyte, and otherwise it is called as flocculation value. Then the flocculation value smaller means greater will be the precipitation will occur. In colloids, it containing two phases. One is dispersed phase, another one is dispersion medium. What is dispersed phase? Means that salt particle is called as dispersed phase. That each salt particle having some charges. That in the electrophoresis means during the current passing, the charged salt particle moves toward the opposite sign of the electrode. Then it is due to the neutralization of charge of the colloid, the particles are discharged at one end, that is electrode, and they get precipitate at the electrode. Then by mixing with two oppositely charged salt. Now only I said the colloidal, in colloids the salt particle contains some charges. If you add the opposite charges for the salt particle, mutual coagulation take place, and then due to migration of ion from the surface of the particle, the mutual coagulation take place. Then boiling, during the boiling there is a collusion will increase, so that the salt particle, because of that collusion they combine and then they settle down. So by boiling also we can precipitate the salt particle. Productive action we have already learned. When compared to the lyophilic salt, the lyophobic salt is less stable. That can be precipitated even a small addition of electrolyte. So we have to stabilize the lyophobic salt by adding a small amount of lyophilic colloid. For example, gold salt, it is a lyophobic salt. That lyophobic salt is stabilized with the help of gelatin salt. The gelatin salt is a lyophilic salt. So the lyophobic salt is stabilized with the help of lyophilic salt. The Zygmundi, it introduced a term that is called as gold number. What is gold number means? It is a measure of protecting power of colloid. The definition for gold number is number of milligrams of hydrophilic colloid that prevent the precipitation of 10 ml of gold salt on addition of 1 ml of 10% sodium chloride solution. What definition here giving? That word must be important, ma. So memorize that definition of gold number. Then smaller gold number means there is more protective power it has. Then in table it is given that for gelatin the gold number is lies between 0.005 to 0.01. For egg albumin it is lies between 0.08 to 0.10. Gum arabic, gold number lies between 0.1 to 0.15, and potato starch, it contain gold number 25. Emulsion, it is a colloidal solution that colloidal solution we are obtaining by liquid disposed phase is disposed in the liquid medium, that is dispersed phase also liquid and dispersion medium also liquid. There are two type, oil in water. First type, here for example milk, the milk contain fat as well as water. So fat is come under the category of oil. The fat is disposed in water, that is oil is disposed in water in milk. The next one, water in oil, that this type for example grease. In that grease the oil is a dispersion medium and then water is a disposed phase. So water is disposed in oil, that is water in oil. So water in oil example is grease. So the process of preparation of this emulsion is called as emulsification. For producing the emulsion we are using colloidal mill. This colloidal mill is a homogenization. What is homo means same. So we are having two liquid, but the two liquid they are going to mix means we get the emulsion. So the colloidal mill is called as homogenization. And for example, if you mingle the oil and water, it mingle for some time only. Afterward we see that the oil is separated from the water. So it does not happen in emulsion. So we have to stable that emulsion means we had some other substance for the stability of emulsion. That substance is called as emulsifier or emulsification. So what are the substances are used to stabilize the emulsion means there are three emulsifier, three types, several types is there. Here three types they given. Most of the lyophilic colloid act as a emulsifier. For example, glue, gelatin. These the next one, long chain compound with the polar group. Polar means one end having positive and another end having negative. So that is called as polar end but having the long chain. For example, soap and sulfonic acid. These are also act as a emulsifying agent. The next one, insoluble powder. Clay, lampblack, they are also act as a emulsifier. They stabilize the emulsion. There are two types of emulsion. One is oily emulsion, another one is aqueous emulsion. We can find out the what type of emulsion by the following test. One is dye test. In the dye test, a small amount of dye soluble in oil is added with the emulsion. If the aqueous solution means it will not take the color of the dye, but it is a oily emulsion means it will take the color of the dye. So by seeing that color we can identify whether it is a aqueous emulsion or oily emulsion. The next one, viscosity test. When compared to the oil and water, which one having more viscous? Oil only having more viscous. So during that viscosity test, the oily emulsion will have the higher value and then aqueous emulsion having lower value. So from that value we can conclude that whether it is a oil emulsion or aqueous emulsion. The next one, conductivity test. In aqueous solution the conductivity is more, but in oily solution the conductivity is less. So from that conductivity we can found whether it is a aqueous emulsion or oily emulsion. The next one, spreading test. When the emulsion is spread on the oily surface, if the emulsion is spread very readily, means called as it is a oily emulsion. If it is not spread very fast, that is called as aqueous emulsion. So from these tests we can find out what type of emulsion is this. When oil is mixed with water, the mixing of oil and water is for some time alone. After some time, when we examine that solution, there is separate layer will form. One is liquid, that one is water layer, another one is oil layer. But in emulsion, whether it is a oil disposed in water or water disposed in oil, there is no separate layer will form after some time. But if we have to separate the two layer with the help of some process. That process is called as de-emulsification. So what is de-emulsification means? Separating two layer of the emulsion is called as de-emulsification. The de-emulsification techniques are: one is distillating one component, the next one adding an electrolyte. So by adding electrolyte, the charge is destroyed. Then third one, destroying the emulsifier. We are adding some compound to stability for the stability of the emulsion. So that compound is called a emulsifier. By destroying that emulsifier by using some other chemical. Then fourth one, by using solvent extraction. Then fifth one, by freezing one component, whether it is a water or oil, and by applying centrifugal force. Centrifugal force means I showed one diagram, that is centrifugal apparatus. In that apparatus, the tube containing emulsion, if you give the centrifugal force is nothing but the circulation, the revolution is given for 1 hour or 2 hour. Afterward we will see, that means there is a separate layer will form. And seventh one, adding dehydrating agent. Dehydrating means, D means removal and hydrating means water. So removal of water agent will be added once we can get the two layer. And eighth one, using ultrasonic waves. If you pass the ultrasonic waves, then emulsion is undergo destabilization and it form the two layer. And heating at high pressure, by heating also we can separate the oil layer separate one and aqueous layer as a separate one. Inversion of phase. We are in emulsion, we are changing the water in oil emulsion into oil in water emulsion, means that is called as inversion of phase. For example, in oil in water, the potassium soap is act as a emulsifying agent. That is, for stabilization of emulsion, we are adding potassium soap. But it is converted into water in oil by adding calcium chloride or aluminum chloride. So this mechanism is called as inversion of phase. Then now we are going to learn the various application of colloid in our body, as well as the human body, as well as other earth life. They are containing so many colloidal solution. For example, in our human body, the blood is a colloidal solution. In plant and animal cell, the protoplasma is a colloidal solution. And the fats in our intestine, it is also in the form of emulsion. And then synthetic polymer like polystyrene, silicones, PVC, they are all under the category colloids. And in food, for example, milk, cream, butter, they are in the colloidal form. And then medicine also in the colloidal form, then only they are easily absorbed by our body. The medicine colloidal form means it is easily absorbed by body. First of all, antibiotics mean the penicillin and streptomycin we are using in the injection. Then they are in the colloidal form, means it is easily used in injection. Then the colloidal gold and colloidal calcium, they are used in tonics. Then for stomach trouble, we are using milk of magnesia. Then the silver salt, it is a high lyophobic salt. That lyophobic salt is protected by lyophilic salt. Gelatin is a lyophilic salt. It is protected by silver salt, that is called as argyrol. Thus argyrol is used in eye lotion. In industry we are using so many colloids. First one, water purification. The water containing so many suspended impurities, that impurities we can precipitated with the help of alum. That alum contain aluminum 3 plus. So by coagulation of suspended impurity we can purify the water with the help of alum. Here the alum is a colloidal. The next one, when washing, what is the in washing we are using soap. The soap solution, how can it clean the dirt means the soap molecules form a emulsion with the dirt or grease. Then tanning of leather, the animal hide skin, these are all positive charge particle, they are all in the colloidal form. By adding tanning means it is a negatively charged particle, so the coagulation will take place. Afterward we get the soft and polishable leather. The same way in chromium salt, they are also used for the leather softening, that is called as chrome tanning. From the chrome tanning we get the soft and polishable leather. In rubber industry, latex means it is a emulsion of natural rubber. It contains negative particle. That latex is heating with the sulfur, we get vulcanized rubber. That vulcanized rubber is used for producing the tire and tubes. Sewage dispersal, what is sewage means? It contains dirt, mud and wastes. These are all dispersed in water. So this dirt, mud, wastes are a dispersed phase and water is a dispersion medium. So sewage also is a colloidal substance. We can pass the electric current through the sewage. The dirt, mud and wastes, they are getting to precipitate. That precipitate we can use as a manure. And this diagram shows that how the sewages undergo treatment and how the dust particle or mud particle are precipitated. The treatment is given as a diagram here. In air there are so many dust particles is there, mainly carbon particle. From the smoke, what smoke means? The carbon particle are distributed in air. So we have to separate this carbon particle by using Cadral precipitator. Here the Cadral precipitator, high potential difference, that is 50,000 volt is used. Then the charge of the carbon is neutralized and also it is precipitated, that is called as solidified. Then the air is now free from the carbon particle. The air which one containing the carbon particle, that carbon particle is because of electricity they get into precipitated and then air is free from the carbon. So this Cadral precipitator is used for to purify the air. The next one, blue color of the sky. There are so many color, but the sky only having the blue color because it is the Tyndall effect of air particle. What is Tyndall effect means? That colloidal particle they absorb the light and scatter in all direction. The same way, from the sunlight, the air particle they attract the air particle. They attract the light from the sun, and also they scatter the one portion of the light. From the scattered light, we observe only the blue color. So because of this effect only, we see the sky as a blue color. The next one, formation of delta. When the sea and river water, when it meets, there coagulation take place because the sea containing one type of charges and river water containing another type of charges. So there is a mutual coagulation take place. The solid particles are precipitated, that is called as formation. That place delta is formed. So formation of delta also because of this colloidal effect. That earth becomes as a fertile land. Because of this formation of delta, the earth becomes a fertile land. An analytical application for the qualitative and quantitative analysis, we are using the properties of colloid only. Based on the properties of colloid, the qualitative and quantitative analysis are held. Natural honey, it is a colloidal salt. How can we distinguish the natural honey and then artificial honey means just adding the ammonical silver nitrate. While adding the ammonical silver nitrate, natural honey produces the metallic silver, but it has a color reddish yellow color. Why it has reddish yellow color means that the natural honey contains traces of albumin or ethereal oil as a protective colloid. Because of this albumin and ethereal oil, the metallic silver looks like a reddish yellow color. But in artificial honey, while it is adding with ammonical silver nitrate, it produces a dark yellow or greenish yellow precipitate. From that one, we can find out it is whether it is the artificial honey or natural honey.